The mood was certainly lighter after all that. Randy had uncoiled somewhat, and my parents could see that Randy was probably one of the best things to happen to me in a long time. At the back of my mind, it was surreal that Randy was trying to protect me from my own parents, but I don't think it was wrong to. Saint Randy continued being an incredible guy. Dad took a brief moment to make a call and excused himself out into the hallway. Mom looked like she already knew what it was about, probably job related. I mentally slapped myself. Obviously, it was job related. Still, Mom and Randy were making small talk. Mom loved to cook. She just didn't have any time for it anymore. So hearing Randy's talent on the grill perked her interest immediately. A vague recollection of an early childhood birthday where she rocked a barbecue practically by herself. I don't know what the I don't know that the flavors came close to what Randy could crank out, but it was a small connection the two had. They were enjoying talking shop about seasonings. I mean, he's a carnivore and she's an omnivore, so they got a lot to talk about. I was relaxing in my bed again, enjoying the easy ambiance. It was easy. This was nice. My mom and my not dad were just enjoying each other's company, while I idly doodled on my phone. Felt like something real families did. Divorce, divorce. Hopefully there'll be room for more of this in the future. Dad entered the room again with a tired smile on his face. He looked worn out from whatever the phone call was. What's up, dear? Just got off the phone with the Twombles. He and McIntyre will take over the Cornucopia project. Mom let out a sigh like she'd been holding her breath, and looked happy. Randy just shot me a look, but all I had for him was a confused look back. Mom and Dad talked about work a lot, but I was never really part of the discussion. I had no idea of the inner workings of their business or what any of those names meant. Dad realized our confusion and clarified. They're employees of ours, and the Cornucopia is the next upcoming project. We were scheduled to leave to oversee the initial stages of the building design tomorrow. So, they've been planning to miss Christmas while their son was... How the fuck hasn't Christmas gone by yet? Randy, likewise, looked slightly annoyed at that you... Yeah. But with them taking over, it's taking to stay in town for the next week or so. We deserve us being here, Inco. Dad finished his explanation with a smile. I felt floored. Mom and Dad were actually going to be here for Christmas for once? They put their job aside for me. I mean, they damn well should be doing that, but them actually doing it? It's a very pleasant change of pace. Even Randy gave an approving nod. I think Inco will appreciate that. Yeah, I really did. I nodded in confirmation. It sounds so lame. Given the sudden change of plans, I'm guessing you don't really have anything figured out for Sunday, then, huh? Mom looked quite embarrassed when she answered with a no. Randy had obviously expected that. Well, I need to run it past Soph, but if everyone agrees, why not meet at our place? It's a holiday, the more the merrier, right? Be careful, your mom might try to eat them, or Damien, or maybe Olivia comes out and is like, you better give me your son's blessing. Oof. Man, there's a hot discussion going on over here. I just aired out my room. And I'm doing laundry. And why does my room smell? Oh, it's because despite I forgot. I forgot that I haven't showered, and that was the plan because I came home yesterday so grungy from moving furniture. Safi, you gormless fool! How could you forget that? After the stream. Luckily, we don't have smell-o-vision yet. Actually, where would you put the smell microphone if you're doing smell-o-vision? Location is very important for that. Would people get like a bowl of like incense or like a nice warm soup and they would put the mic over that and they would heat it up over time so the smell sticks around? It's like, oh, such a nice tomato soup. All the BO just gone. My parents had quietly discussed it among themselves while Dad finally turned back to Randy. If you'd have us, we would be more than happy to come. I didn't show it, but I have my own doubts. Randy was clearly anticipating things to turn out more or less okay, but the situation at the Paynes was more tenuous by the sounds of it. I turned back to my phone and opened the messaging app. Olivia still hadn't responded. I sighed. Realistically, if the pattern held, she was going to stay in her room and not emerge at all, which was safe. But I don't think anyone else would be happy about it. But I also don't want to rush things either. They'll make things worse, and the last thing Olivia needs is worse. Let's try tackling things in order. While the parental trio were talking and making plans, I moved over to Damien's messaging context. Hey dude, how you feeling? Apparently Randy wants my family over for Christmas this weekend. Hold on. I'm missing something. It's important for me. Oh, maybe later. Maybe Vader someday later. No, I'm just a good guy. Take off, LeBeau. Oh, man. Let's go back. Okay. Hey, dude, how are you feeling? Apparently Randy wants my family over this weekend, but if you're feeling up for it, we should talk first. Work things out so it isn't as awkward, yeah? And sent. Yeah, it feels a little quick to suddenly do this, right? A moment later, it was Randy was already typing a reply. Yeah, man, feel about it. Still tired, but should be good tomorrow. Yeah, cool. I typed an affirmative. So, talk with Damien tomorrow. Should be interesting. I turned and tapped Randy on the shoulder, getting his attention, which in turn pulled my parents'. Olivia in a wheelchair, I scrawled. Randy was taken aback slightly. Like I'd anticipated, he started preparing the denials and rejections. Now, Randy, Mom interjected. Surprising was both. You said yourself he was trying to be an adult and fix his mistakes, right? If he was partially responsible for the accident on the stairs, the appropriate course of action would be to pay for a replacement. Isn't that what they did in Harry Potter? Like a whole thing about boop? Or am I imagining someone else's fanfiction? I think I'm imagining someone's fanfiction. That just shows what I haven't written, huh? That stopped Randy in his tracks. Damn, Mom. Well played. You make a fair point, but wouldn't it be your money? Inco doesn't have a job. Randy, no! How with your logic? My mom considered that for a moment before shrugging dismissively. A compromise, then. We haven't really been worried about his spending habits before because they were generally reasonable. I generally scoffed at the idea of spending $600 on designer socks as reasonable. God past me was a douche. Listen, they are very good socks. So how about this? The Nino family puts the bill on the replacement chair while we work out how to contend with Inco's spending habits in the future. Could do some work for you? Yard work or something. Randy thought that through and glanced out the window. It's snowing all day. Well, that could work, I think. Obviously, once it gets better, but I don't want him shoveling or doing other... But I think him doing shoveling and doing other odd jobs for us would be acceptable. Randy relented, accepting the olive branch for my family. Well, looks like Solly's training would come in clutch again for the hard labor I was expected to do once I recovered enough. My mind stopped. Wait a minute, what about school? I snapped my fingers, getting their attention before jotting down my question. Michael hasn't come back to me yet, but given that it's the holidays, I would expect that we'll be able to get you back in class when the break's over if your doctors don't have a complaint. Almost as if on cue, I snickered a laugh when the 3 adults answered. Dr. Nick had entered and took a stock of the room for a moment and smiled. He was clearly pleased things had evened out ever since he had to break up the argument from before. Well, Inco, I got great news for you. Your condition doesn't show any signs of further issues and your recovery is going well. So as such, if your parents are willing, you can go home tonight. This elicited a small chorus of cheers from the 4 of us. It made sense. I was honestly feeling a bit better. Given how much had happened, I was feeling great. At this time, when I went home, I'd actually have my parents there with me for once. Hell yeah, I was excited. Let's turn on the new soundtrack and get out of here, quick find. What works? This is the Inco theme. Why does this always make me feel like credit theme? I don't know. The rest of the day went rather smoothly. Mom and Dad talked to Randy more, coordinating our holiday plans now that I was going to be out of the hospital. Sounds like Mom wanted to do some emergency shopping for foodstuffs and gifts. I think she was planning to make up for the past Christmases she was gone for. I still like to think that Inco's text to Liv is like, hey, I'm alright, just letting you know, let's play. It's the right text, the good end. Dad, meanwhile, had broken off to talk to people at work. Apparently he didn't trust them not to screw something up and he was trying to establish contingencies. I'd be annoyed he was back at work if he hadn't assured me that it was purely so he wouldn't be disturbed all week. Parents were actually taking time off of work, completely. I was speechless. Textless. Randy gave warm handshakes to my parents and told them he'd confirm things with Sophia, but he was very confident there'd be no problems and I would message my parents at the time. Then, before departing, he walked back over to me and gave a firm, comforting pat on the shoulder with a smile. One that said he was happy for me and proud of me. I was happy my parents were, if only temporarily, back in a small way into the picture. But that look, maybe I could get Dad to talk to Randy about some pointers for fatherliness. As we prepared to depart, I remember that we had stashed board games under the one chair. Mom and Dad helped collect them all. Able to return them back to the Paynes in a few days anyways, wasn't a big deal. Doctor was sure to provide me with more notes and guidance on exercises I had started doing since yesterday to help my recovery. The big ones were trying to work my jaw and facial muscles, trying to talk and overemphasizing syllables or overemphasizing certain facial expressions. They'd explained to me that because of my brain injuries, my wires were crossed in their analogy, and my brain had lost track of how to move things in a fine enough way to talk like I used to. These practices, even though silly, were like stretching my leg after an injury. It worked the muscles and the brain to try and practice to reestablish those connections. Probably wouldn't ever be able to talk completely normally again, but there was a chance I would be able to articulate better than a slurry mess I could currently manage. I thanked the doctor profusely for everything they had done, and as we made our exit, I even spotted one of the nurses that had been keeping tabs on me throughout the stay. I shot her a smile and a friendly wave, which she was happy to return. Happy end. I climbed into the back of my parents' car, a needlessly high-end SUV, and we departed for home. I must have looked hungry, because Dad, looking at me through the rearview mirror, asked if I wanted to stop and grab something. Before I could answer, though, Mom cut the two of us off. She was going home to cook something for us, since she had finally had enough time. She had some time to spend. Man, when was the last time she cooked anything? Been ages. I remember talking to Olivia about it when she came over and helped care for me when I was sick. She had thrown some stuff together, the most delicious soup I ever tasted. We talked about the last time I had something home cooked. Sorry, Mom. I remember loving your food, but Olivia's soup blows your stuff out of the water. If I ever repair my relationship with Olivia, maybe they could trade tips? I imagine that scenario as I stared out the window watching buildings slide past. Mom and Olivia in the kitchen, giggling and laughing as they cooked. You sure you want those paint-smothered hands near your dinner? Sophia to the side, partaking in girl talk and helping out Dad and Randy in the yard working a grill. I don't think Dad had ever grilled anything in his life, but as happy as Randy was to have me take a go at the tongs, he'd certainly pressured Dad into it. My imagination carried me to the living room with our massive TV. Me, Vinny, and Damien gaming on a console while Liz watched. Damien and Vinny utterly obliterating me in the game, but everyone else was having fun and laughing. Inco, sweetie, are you okay? I was pulled out of my reverie, realizing tears were rolling down my cheeks. Yeah, Mom, just thinking. Hoping this Christmas will be a good one, I noted down for her. I'm sure it will be, Inco. I turned my head to the scenery as it went past. Almost home now. Wiping my eyes, I tried to think of the last time I had such pleasant thoughts. Pleasant memories and imaginations. Been a while. I don't think it would shake out like that, unfortunately. Too much hurt, too many wounds left to fester. But the scant possibility of it was a goal, something to strive for. Something old, terrible, Inco wouldn't want. Inco the Terrible, yeah! And the fact I did want it meant that I was becoming better than him. And the thought of that made me happy. True to her word, Mom cooked us dinner. Dad, of course, had to run out to get supplies, as our cabinets were bare. The fridge held foods that had expired various days ago. Some of it was still good before the formal, but me having gone out for a week definitely doomed the culinary components. I offered them a silent prayer and apology. That's an add-on thing to do, get out of here. I think she'd gotten rusty with all of her time having skipped out on cooking. My memories of her taste were better than the reality, but damn it, I'm not going to complain about my mom taking some time to cook for us. For us to sit down and have a real family meal again. Dinner passed quietly. I was happy that Mom and Dad were taking an effort to get back into my life. Again. And more than happy Mom cooked us dinner. But the reality was, we didn't have much to discuss. My semester recap caught them up to date on everything school-related, and they were intentionally trying to avoid mentioning anything about work. It was appreciated, but given that their entire lives were about work, left us with nothing to talk about. It was an uncomfortable silence, but I think we all felt like it was a bit embarrassing given the situation. Still, progress. One step at a time. How far along are we? Let me just double check ahead. I don't think I can make another cut. I don't think another cut makes sense. I finished the food and put the dishes in the sink and told Mom and Dad I was going to go out and crash early. Don't be careful with your neck. They warmly wished me good night and stayed at the table. Suspect they had stuff they wanted to talk about amongst themselves as well, and I was happy to give them the room they needed. I trundled up the stairs to my room, and by the time I reached my bed, the energy was gone. So much surreal back to being back here. In my room, in my bed. I'd grown accustomed, in a small way, to hanging out with the Paynes, where a family lived. Dang! Hold on. I need to take a bite. Tasty. There we go. But now, a family lives here too. In practice, the change from just before the former was minimal, but it felt significant. It was significant. It is significant. Now we just had to see things through to the end. I rolled over and faced the ceiling. I probably should get out of my clothes, but I was too tired to do anything. I was too tired from everything to do so. I grabbed my phone, opened my messaging app, back to Damien. Dude. Hey, dude, when you come visit tomorrow, visit my house. I got kicked out of the hospital. Kicked out? Jeez, what do you say? Pretty sure that was a joke. We're a little too close to give my prior behavior. Discharged. Apparently, I'm a healthy boy. My parents collected me and we're home now. This time the reply was slower. Multiple instances of dots appearing and disappearing as Damien worked out a reply. It took about 5 minutes with no dots at all before his reply came through. And Dad mentioned something about him. Are you guys cool or do we need to bust you out? This guy. What? Nah, we're good. We talked. Got some work to do, but I think that goes for everything, right? Wait a minute, I answered. Hold on. Doesn't Inco's dad usually tell him, like, until midnight and no later? Or is that a thing that doesn't happen in ending 1? Hold the phone. Listen, I know none of you guys really prefer holding onto the phone, but that's my phone. Give it back. Hold on, I'm doing a script check. A bitter winter. Oh, it's actually 17 then. Huh? Oh, there's an overlap chapter. Yeah! With his work uniform hunched over the bar with a half-filled glass. So, his dad was very much around. He was around on prom night. Which probably explains why he showed up when he originally showed up at the, I just like to be sassy about this for no good reason. But there you go. It's fun facts with your boy. Nah, we good. We talked. Got some work to do, but I think that goes for everyone right now. Yeah, you're right. He returned, and with that, the discussion ended for now. I thought of bringing up you, Snoot, for something to watch, but I didn't really feel like watching any of the stuff I used to watch for now. Wasn't sure what it meant. Maybe I've grown. Your tastes don't change like that unless you're a pretentious douche about it. Or, you were watching something really bad. Or maybe my stare jumbled my tastes. Or maybe my stares jumbled my taste in entertainment. I made a mental note tomorrow to ask Damien for gift ideas. My mom was absolutely planning to go shopping for Christmas, and I wanted to do right by everyone in the gift department. Wouldn't fix anything on its own, of course. I definitely internalized that lesson that just spending money on trinkets wouldn't fix anything. Wouldn't fix things for my introspection about how I screwed up things for Olivia. But it was Christmas. It was great to do gifts. And if I was going to do gifts, they may as well be good ones. No more Inco thinking he knew better than other people about what they wanted. I opened the drawing app and doodled a little more. My practice was beginning to pay off in a small way. Olivia looked ever so slightly less fish-like, and Damien's face almost looked vaguely recognizable as Damien. It's been 2 days! Liz still had a long-necked figure, but I honestly think, regardless of how my art may or may not improve, it was perfect for her. The only reason it's getting better is because you're drawing the same fucking thing. You're tracing, dingus. I'm doing one cut, because I'm cheating myself.